Welcome to Stories Behind the Stories, Mackinac Island edition. I'm your host, Linda Hughes, and I am so happy to have with me today Chad Bennett of Chad's Wonderful Walking Tours. Chad, welcome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I have been following you on Facebook, stalking actually,
Oh, don't worry about
probably
it. Yeah.
because of your videos of your walking tours. And in the wintertime, oh my goodness, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful up there. Tell me a little bit about your walking tours. What can people expect when they go on a tour? What is it like? Is it hard? Is it something that I could do?
Oh, let's see. My last season, the 2025 season of my oldest customer was literally a little old lady from Pasadena. She was 88 years old.
Oh my goodness,
Uh,
that's
yeah,
great.
it was pretty cool. It was her son and his wife and her. They came on an hour walk. It ended up being 2 hours just because she's 88. You know what I mean? And they paid me for 2 hours. I didn't make a fuss of it. I really wasn't going to, but they're like, oh my God.
Oh,
But no, so what to expect on Chad's Wonderful Walking Tours. We meet on the corner of Market Street and French Lane at a place called My Front Porch. There's a little courtyard off to the side with a metal fence around it. It's got some whirly gigs in it, and my metal signs for Chad's Wonderful Walking Tours is hanging on the outside of that. And it's just some friends of mine. It's their place, so they let me hang up my sign, and they've been really cool to me. So we start there, head up towards the Grand Hotel,
hey,
and
I have my grand coffee cup right
yeah,
here.
yeah, Grand Hotel. There you go.
Yeah.
So up the Grand Hotel, up the West Bluff, where, believe it or not, I actually used to live. I was a lady's private carriage driver for a couple of years on the West
Woo,
Bluff.
because it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, and then we go around Hubbard's Annex,
Mhm.
and then we go loop around and we come back to town, and that's about an hour and 10, 15 minutes, something like
Yeah.
that. I normally try to give like an hour, like a 15-minute leeway, just because I get it. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
50 this year, so I'm getting a little older too. I'm not like I was when I was 22.
Hey, you're a young thing to me. Don't worry about
But
it.
no, that's my 1 hour tour. And then I have two different 2 hour tours. I have like a modified 3 hour tour that I can do. And I also have a 4 hour tour.
Wow, where do you go on the 4 hour tour? Do you
Oh
take
my
them back up
gosh.
into the
So
interior?
my most my most popular tour this summer, well, last summer, 2025, was my 2 hour trip out to Stonecliff. And
Oh,
if you
yeah.
came back with me, I charged you at a 2.5 hour rate just because I go a couple different routes back. You don't see the same exact thing. You see a little bit of more behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that I gave 155 tours last year officially. And
Wow.
of those 155, I think I took 120 of them out to Stonecliff. And it was great because I would pick you up. It didn't matter if you were single or in a group, you know, I would take you out to Stonecliff. We would stop by the Woods restaurant and get a cocktail or water if you want,
Of
whatever.
course. Yeah.
And then we'd go down to Sunset Rock, which a lot of people have never heard of. And then
Mhm.
we'd go to Stonecliff, which just did a renovation. And so I wanted to kind of show off the property. And it's just a
Mhm.
really cool atmosphere out there. And I drop you off and you can have lunch there and a
Mhm.
cocktail if you want. And then you can ride the carriage back or walk. And I think the carriage is like $10 to take
Mhm.
the Stonecliff shuttle.
Sure.
But yeah, and that's why that tour I always tried starting around 10 o'clock. So by the time we got out there, it was lunchtime. So you'd be hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
But
and
yeah,
I've seen pictures of the renovations. It's absolutely beautiful and tucked back into the woods the way that it is, and
yep.
then the lake on the other side. Oh my goodness, it's
Yeah. But
gorgeous out there.
so, and then I have another 2 hour tour that we do, the West Bluff Hubbard's Annex. We cut through a little road called Whitefield Road, which is the original road to the village.
Huh.
aka Harrisonville, here on
Yeah.
Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
We'll go up through the village so you see where 90% of the year-round residents live. And we'll go through Great Turtle Park. We'll walk all the way up to Fort Holmes,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll try to make it. It depends on how fast you're walking or how fast your group's walking. And we'll make it out toward, try to make it out towards Arch Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and then, come back and
Wow.
see the East Bluff then. And yeah, it's
What a
pretty neat.
great trip that is. Harrisonville, I've ridden my bike out there before,
Yep.
from town.
Yeah,
And
it's all uphill.
yes, I know. I think I walked a lot actually,
Yeah.
going in, but coming back was much easier. But the little general store,
Oh
the
yeah,
little
Candy's
post
place. Yeah,
office,
I always point
the
out
little white
Candy's
house that's
store.
the police station. Oh my goodness, I love that so much.
Yeah.
It's great back there. And so when you take people on a tour, what is it that you really want to impart? Is it the beauty of the island? Is it the history of the island? Is it just being out of doors, enjoying all of that?
Kind of all of it, actually. Just being outdoors, getting some fresh air. I'm not opposed to having a cocktail. Everyone knows that. But I mean, you came to Mackinac Island. Guess what? I hate to tell you, but Jameson whiskey tastes the same on Mackinac Island as it does on the mainland. Same thing with Bud or Coors or Two Hearted or whatever. Get off the bar stool, go explore. There's so
Yeah.
much this island has to offer. We have over 52 miles of roads and trails crisscrossing Mackinac Island.
Isn't that I didn't realize it was that many because I know going around is 8.2 miles.
8.2.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I have the t-shirt
Yep.
like most
I'm glad
tourists
you have
do.
the 8.2 mile t-shirt and not the 8.3 mile t-shirt.
Oh, is
Because
there?
like a couple years back,
Oh,
there was well, whoever was ordering shirts, like they all came from the same manufacturer in Taiwan or China or wherever. Island wide, everything said 8.3 for
oh
that
no.
summer. So if you got one of those shirts, hang on to it. But it
Yeah,
is 8.2.
that'll be worth something someday. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
But no, we
When,
have paved roads, we have dirt roads, we have
Mhm.
trails.
Mhm.
It's just, I mean, everything.
When I'm on the island, and by the way, my first trip to the island was when I was 9 years old. I'm originally a Michigander, although I live in Oklahoma right now.
Where are you from?
West Branch, little town.
Shut up. I was raised in Houghton Lake.
No. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That's right down the road.
Yes,
And we
it
used to go to
is.
Houghton Lake to swim. In
Yeah.
fact, 2 summers ago, my siblings and I rented a house on Houghton Lake.
Well,
And
when the whole strip mall, because I'm 50, so I was born in 1976.
mhm.
So when I was like 14 in the early 90s and all that, that's when the whole strip mall was really popular there in West Branch. So if you didn't want to go to a mall, you just shot over to West Branch.
Which, and that mall is like this
This
big.
is the very tiny. Yes.
Oh my goodness, that
That's
is
funny.
truly
Yeah, I
amazing.
was actually born in Holland.
Yeah. Oh wow, pretty
So
town.
Michigan, not the country.
Right, right. And so I think when you're a Michigander, there's water everywhere, whether it's an inland lake like Houghton Lake or Lake Huron, the Great Lakes, where Mackinac Island is.
Yeah.
To me, it just seems like that water gets into our blood, and it's hard to live in a landlocked place where there's no water. So, have
Yeah,
you
when I was in
always,
Afghanistan, that was kind of hard. I was like,
you
there's no water anywhere.
you were, that's what I was going to ask if
Yeah.
you've always been in Michigan.
No, I've Mackinac Island was my first job after I got out of the Marine Corps in 1999. So from 95 to 99, I did 4 years in the U.S. Marine Corps as an Amtracker. The veterans can look that up. My MOS was 1833. I worked on Mackinac Island from the probably middle of August because I EAS'd on what was it, August 8th. And then I just drove right back to Houghton Lake and saw mom and dad for a couple days. And yeah, I worked here
So
for a little bit. The end of season came. I didn't know what to do, so I went and did 4 years in the Navy.
wait.
Uh,
So you did 8 years altogether in the
8 years
service?
total. Yep. And then I ended up going to the oil field for a little while. And then in 2008, I became a security contractor. So I was guarding the embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan.
My
Yeah, it's
goodness.
just, and then, I now in the winter times, every once in a while, I'll do some anti-piracy. So like I'll actually ride on ships and yeah.
So this is fascinating to me.
So
So you've been all over the
all
world
over the
doing all
world.
of these things, and I appreciate your service so much. And
I'm
then you
working on my
come,
fourth passport. So
ah,
fourth.
and then you come back to this little island,
Yep.
Lake Huron, and that's where you choose to live. That's really
And it
fascinating.
helps me retain my sanity.
Ah, and so
So,
when you do go out now, what do you mean that you go out and you do? Uh,
oh, like I might get a call in the wintertime. Somebody will be like, hey, I got a job for you for like 4 weeks. Do you want it?
and it's on a ship,
Yeah, it's on a ship. Yep.
and
So I work
in
for a small company
and
out of
in the Great
Alabama.
Lakes or
Yep.
somewhere else.
No, there's a small company in Mobile that I work for. So
So you could go end up going anywhere.
yeah, yep. I've been on the phone with my parents before, or I've been visiting my parents in Houghton Lake, and I got a call, and I put it on speaker, and I told my mom to be quiet for a second, and my boss was like, "Hey, you want a job? We got something going. I need you in Dubai in 2 days." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "I'll process some payment right now." I was like, "Cool, thank you very much." He goes,
Wow.
"You're in though." I was like, "I'm in." And I hang up, and my mom looks at me and goes, "You have to fly to the Middle East in 2 days." I was like, in a day, actually.
Oh
So,
my good. I used to have a job where I traveled all over the world and I've made flights like that.
yeah,
And every single time I'd get done and go, I'm never doing that again because it's rough. But then
see,
I'd
I
always
kind
do
of
it
liked
again
it.
because they would offer me money.
Yeah, well, it's not always money. It's about the adventure, and I got some
Sure.
gypsy blood anyway. So,
So you've chosen to live full time on Mackinac Island and you go out and do these things. You have your walking tours. You meet people from all over the world, I would imagine, on
yeah,
your walking tours. And so what is it exactly about the island that calls you back to it?
I just love it. I love the peace and the serenity in the wintertime. I love the craziness of the summertime.
It is
It's
crazy,
just
isn't it?
yeah, it gets intense, especially around yacht races in the middle of July. I remember one time I was working for the lady on the bluff and I came down. I I got down to past the Mustang and I got down Astor Street and I looked on Main Street. I looked left and I looked right and I was like, I know how to cook. And I turned around and went home because it was so busy. It was
It wasn't worth
world
trying to go to a
moving.
restaurant, huh? Yeah.
It's
And
just
the
like
Mustang, by the way, is the Mustang Lounge, which they say is the oldest bar in Michigan.
it's one of the most it's there's only four historic buildings like that left in America.
Wow. Do you know
Yeah.
what the other ones are?
I can't remember what the other ones are, but yeah.
Well, speaking of historic buildings, what do you know about historic buildings on the island?
What would you like to know?
Ooh, so you know a lot.
No, I don't know that much. I can muddle my way through it.
Just, we know that there were a lot of homes when we talk about the bluff, like the East Bluff and the West Bluff,
Hmm.
where you used to work. And there are these beautiful homes that they call cottages that most of us would
Yes.
call a mansion. And most were built during the Gilded Age,
Yes.
around the late
Around the
1800s,
Victorian
early
period. Yep.
1900s. Yeah, yeah. And so there's quite a history there because before that, I know it was a fishing community, and before that, there was the fur trade, and before that, it was a sacred place to the natives, to the Odawa and the Ojibwe. And
Yep.
so, do you talk about any of the history on your walking tours?
I give history of all the cottages. I'm personal friends with 90% of those people and on the East and West Bluff and in Hubbard
Okay,
Dam.
okay, so we have to do that next summer. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
hiring you
it's
for a
a
walking
real
tour next
thing.
summer.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
so
like I mean, we have hidden titans of industry. East Bluff has a DuPont over there. West Bluff had the warps. Harold Warp in 1922 developed a product called Flexoglass. It was the precursor to plexiglass by 19 or 17 years.
Wow.
We have the son of the guy who started Delta Faucets. You
Oh,
know, it's just
nice faucet.
the Hamity House, Wonderview. Michael Hamity was a Lebanese Druze immigrant who came over and was working for 3 years as a beet picker in the Caro area in the thumb of Michigan
Right.
near Flint. And he told his wife, "Hey, we're moving to Flint." She goes, "What are we going to do?" She didn't speak very much English. He started a grocery store. There was, back in the day, you had all the stuff behind you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Well,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want to embarrass herself because she didn't speak very good English. So she took all this stuff down, put it on tables out in front of her so you could go get what you want, bring it to her. She would ring you up and didn't have to, talk to you.
Oh, what a lovely
Yeah.
story.
At
Yeah.
the height of their power, they had 37 stores in the Flint area.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And they
And
they look up the term Hamity sack,
okay. And
Hamady,
oh,
Hamity
okay.
sack. Yep.
And so I also heard that the man who invented file folders or something
Yep. Yeah.
has a
Yeah,
house
that's
up.
the wedding cake cottage.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So yep. And that I worked for the lady in the cottage on the very end. Just you got the wedding cake cottage and then you have
Hmm.
that smaller one and then you have Hamidy's. So yeah, and the lady I work for, her cottage is called what was it? Oh my God. The tall flowers, the tall
I don't know.
hollyhock cottage.
Oh, hollyhock. Okay.
Hollyhock. God, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember it, but
Well, they're not in bloom right now up there.
no.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty.
No,
Do
go
you know
ahead. Yeah.
any secrets about any of those big houses? Is there anything you could tell us?
Oh, not
I
out
guess about the
loud.
people, not just the houses.
Yeah, just primarily the people, very good people, all of them. Most of those cottages are, if you go in the basement crawl space,
Uh-huh.
are still on cedar stumps.
Oh my,
They would just lob trees down and just build the house. It was the Victorian period, you know.
yeah.
If you wanted something built, you built the darn thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I talked to Matt Myers one time, interviewed him for this, and
Mm-hmm.
he restores and repairs houses
Yep.
like that. And he had some interesting things to say about the way that they were built, but they sure are beautiful. I do a lot of research for my books. I write novels, and
Yep.
many of them are set on Mackinac Island. And so I've done a lot of research, and I did find something you're reminding me of, especially when you talked about whiskey, that Mackinac Island being in Lake Huron and so close to Canada during Prohibition, that it was a distribution point, that it was so easy to get booze.
Maybe it may have been. It definitely was.
I
Matter of
know.
fact, it so was a distribution point. When Prohibition was finally repealed, Horn's Bar was the first liquor license in the state of Michigan.
Oh my goodness, and I love
So
Horn Spire.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah,
I love that. And so do you tell when you're doing a walking tour,
yep.
do people have a lot of questions? Do they not usually know anything? Have they done any research?
It's a mixed bag. It literally is. It's I've
Somebody's just
some
there
people who
for
know
a
about
wedding
it
and
and
they
they're
needed something to do and they don't know anything,
yeah,
probably.
or that's kind of like why the walking tour got passed in the city council meeting. Someone was like, well, we just can't have tourists wandering around aimlessly. At least Chad will get them in a guided direction.
So what is something that's interesting or funny that has ever happened on a tour that maybe you didn't expect? Can you think of anything
Oh,
unusual that ever
I had a
happened?
gentleman 2 years ago. We were out by we're walking out towards Stone Cliff and everything. That guy ended up being like a 3 hour tour, and he was great. He could walk, so I was very happy. But he was Asian, and he's like, how come no high rises? You're wasting so much. There could be so much money here. I just looked at them. I was like, you don't get it. I was like, I'm
Right.
sorry. You just don't understand it.
And so talk to us a little bit about getting it and what the requirements are on the island or what the rules are for building, for example.
Oh, it's a very strict code. First you got to find property. And there's only so much land. We love
Mhm.
you guys visiting, but we don't like people wanting to actually live here because it we
Right.
need a place to live,
Well, most of it is state park, right?
Yeah, 85% of Mackinac Island State Park.
Yeah, so you can't build on it anyway. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the West Bluff and East Bluff are actually on state park lands, so you lease the land from the
Mhm.
state. It used to be 99-year leases. Those obviously went out in the 1980s because it was 100 years since they were built, and now they just do 20-year leases.
Oh my goodness, that would make me insecure if I owned a house. Oh my goodness, what happens in 20 years? It's interesting. And so I'm assuming it's expensive.
It's not cheap. I mean, you have to remember Dowd's Market is the only place open in the winter time
Hmm.
for groceries or anything, unless you like. I go off sometimes. I shop at Dowd's, sometimes I go off and get stuff at either Glenn's over in St. Ignace, or I'll run to like Walmart or something up in the
And
Sioux.
there is no, for people who don't know, there is no Walmart on the island because it's
No, there's
very
no Walmart,
historical.
there's no,
There are
yes,
no cars.
there's
And
no cars, everything's horses. In the wintertime we're allowed to ride snowmobiles,
right, horses
so,
and walking, right?
and walking. Yeah.
And riding bikes.
Yep.
And so tell me what it's like in the wintertime when you said that you go to St. Ignace. Do you, how do you get there?
So I'll leave here, walk down to the Arnold Line dock, jump on the ferry,
Oh, okay.
take the ferry over. I pay for a year-long pass every, like, I think it's April 20th.
Hmm.
So pay for a year-long pass. In the wintertime, swipe the pass, the boat takes us over. I go to the mainland, I jump in my truck in the parking lot there, and I go to Glenn's and get what I need. Sometimes I'll time it out, like, 'cause if you have meats or whatever, I'll take over totes or like a cooler if I'm getting like meats or something like that, or
Uh-huh.
something that needs to stay cold. I'll do that. It's pretty neat. And then you drive back to the dock, you put it on the cart, and then you park your car, you go wait, you ride with your cart and all your groceries back over to the island.
Hmm.
Then you should probably coordinate with the dray before you get on there. Drays are large flatbeds. They're like island truck drivers. And I got a
Hmm.
soft spot for that because my old man's a truck driver. He's still driving truck at 75.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
yep. So you get it on a dray and they'll get it delivered to you. And
And
that's
I
unless
see,
you like have your snowmobile down there with a cutter on the back of it, and a lot of people do that. But if you don't have a cutter or something,
and what's a cutter?
a cutter is like a little tow behind
Oh,
sled kind of thing that just tow behind your snowmobile.
but isn't that scary? I've seen where people drive their snowmobile across the lake. I mean, you're driving across Lake Huron.
I've done that before.
That's
We don't
scary.
recommend it. It's not like a bucket list thing. Like, this is how we survive.
Yeah.
I have lost friends to the ice, so it's not a joke. It's
Oh,
You
you
heed the
have.
warning.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah.
it's not, the boats don't run while there's an ice bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't, can they?
No.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But I did see uh, a freighter in one of your recent videos.
Oh yeah, the freighters come through.
They
If you
can make
want to
it.
know what freighters are going through where, look up. There's an app you can get on your phone called Marine Traffic.
Marine traffic?
Marine Traffic.
Oh, it's
Yep.
easy to remember.
Let's see if it looks.
And so you follow that to see what freighters go through.
Well, normally if I'm like on a tour or something, if I'm walking by, I'll pull up marine traffic. And I'm like, hey, what boat's that?
That's
And
cool.
yes, we call them boats because they're the old oar boats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And in the summertime, there are all the cruise ships and all of that as well.
yep.
And so, how do you feel about that? Because that's a lot of people coming on the island.
Oh, oh, look at that. Speak about marine traffic. The Mavericks. I don't know if you probably can't see it or
Can't
not,
see it.
but no, the Mavericks coming in. That's one of our freight boats. I don't see any. What do we
So, are
got?
they bringing freight? Is that a big one just going by, or are they bringing
No,
freight
that
to the
that they
island?
bring freight to the island. We have a freight boat that leaves the St. Ignace freight dock,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, comes over, drops everything off at the old coal dock. The reason we call it the old coal dock is because up until I want to say 52 or 53, they were still running steamships. So there literally was a mountain of coal at the end of the coal dock. There's the
My
first movie
goodness.
that was filmed at the Grand Hotel was
Uh-huh.
called This Time for Keeps with Esther Williams and Jimmy Durante.
Yes, I've seen that movie
Yep.
many times.
Okay, so you've seen that movie. You see the houses and you can see the big mountain of coal. That wasn't a prop. That's real life.
Ah, I see.
And
And
like that's
they
how people used to heat their homes as well.
and
Now we get electrical power from the mainland, from the UP, from
well, one of
Cloverland.
the things that I read that I hope is historically correct because I found it fascinating was that the island was one of the first places to get good electricity and what a telephone with cables that
Yep.
under the lake. And one of the reasons was because there were so many wealthy people that had their summer homes there.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I mean, we're talking DuPont, we're talking the guy who basically started plexiglass.
Yeah.
We have a titan of the grocery industry. I
So,
mean,
so what are there any movie stars?
no, Vince Vaughn and Ron Howard do not live here.
Okay, I wondered
And
because I
even
keep
if they
reading
did,
that.
we would value their privacy.
Yeah.
But they do not, I assure you. Bob Seger comes, hangs out every once in a while. Kid Rock comes, hangs out every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
There's a
They're
bunch of,
Michiganders, right?
there's just a lot of, yeah, truly Michigander boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
So if there were other movie stars there who want their privacy, would you tell us if they were there?
no, some
Good
people might, but I mean,
for you.
like
I appreciate
I
that.
saw William H. Macy
Oh yeah.
one time, and I was like, I did a double take, and I was like, hey, how you doing, man? He goes, good. And I just shook his hand, and that was it. I didn't go autograph chasing.
Yeah.
I got a chance to finally. I've seen her over the last 27 years, off and on, that I've been on the island. Because, like I said, 99 was my first season. I've seen Jane Seymour here and there, but
Mhm.
I actually got a picture with her on the West Bluff this year.
Oh,
So that was
good.
kind of neat.
Yeah, and she's, of course, because of the movie Somewhere in Time that was filmed on the island in the 1980s, I think.
1979.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah,
And so that movie has a cult following
it
amongst
does.
those of us who
It
love the
does.
island. And Jane so graciously, I've seen pictures, so graciously comes back to the island often.
Oh, she actually loves it here. She
Yeah.
really, truly loves Mackinac Island, and that's awesome.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, like I was walking down the West Bluff and I saw these ladies and some kids. And then I saw one kid with a lady with a big hat in front of them, and they were down by the Bell's place, not Bell's Brewing, but but just the Bells, which is the second cottage from the Grand. And I was walking by her because I had to get back to another tour. And I didn't look at her face or anything. I just walked by this lady. I was like, hey, nice hat. And she goes, thanks. I designed them and they sell them in the hotel. And I turned around and I actually used the line from the movie. I was like, "Is it you?" She laughed. She laughed so hard.
Oh,
I
that's great.
introduced myself, and yeah, it was
Speaking of
neat.
movies, what do you do up there in the wintertime for entertainment?
Oh, ride snowmobiles, cross country ski, hike.
Hmm. Outdoor
Um,
activities. So
yeah,
there's no movie to go to or
we keep
no.
the Mustang Lounge in in business in Kingston Kitchen, but we do like Friday nights at like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock trivia at the Mustang Lounge. Tuesdays there's bingo at the community hall. So there's things to do.
And I've seen the sort of Meals on Wheels thing too,
Yeah,
where,
Meals on Snowmobiles. Yeah,
oh, is
which
that
is
what it's called?
ridiculous once you think about it. But that's how we deliver
Yeah.
meals to some of the folks in the village.
Yeah. So taking care of the community, making sure everybody in the
Hmm.
community is
Yeah.
okay. That's
And
fascinating.
if there's no snow and you can't ride a snowmobile, they'll like put them all in the back of the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
okay. Speaking about the ambulance, okay, folks, we have every vehicle you need to run a small town. There's just no private cars on Mackinac Island. We have ambulance. We got a police cruiser that primarily only shows up in the wintertime because they go up to the village and they pick up some of the elderly and they transport them down so they don't slip and fall or anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
they can get to the boat so they can make their appointments and everything. So fire trucks, yes. The fire
Mhm.
chief has the trucks because he lives on the other side of the island, so he can make it here in a timely fashion. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We have bucket trucks. We have uh, excavate. We have everything you need to run a small town. We just
Hmm.
keep it hidden from you guys as much as we can.
You do because I've been coming to the island for years. Every summer I go for the Lilac Festival the first week of June
Yep.
because the Lilac Festival, well, a lot of reasons. I love it up there.
Hmm.
The Lilac Festival started the year I was born, and
Nice.
it's always during my birthday. And so I feel like it's just for me. They have this big party
So
every
yeah, you've
year.
probably seen if you come up, you've probably seen me in the rest of the American Legion guys out front in our American Legion uniforms marching.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I have.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I love it so much. And all the times I've been up there, and I've gone in the fall a few times, such a beautiful time of year. Not the winter yet, although I'd love to sometime. But I
yeah,
have never seen any of those vehicles. And so you keep them well hidden.
yeah. It's not. It's just. I mean, there's a little purple Ford F-150 that runs around. Guess what? That's our water truck. Like those guys are water maintenance people. They go around and they check stuff. So
Huh. Just to make sure the water in all.
yeah, whatever needs to get done anywhere.
So do you have a
So
lot of frozen pipes up there in the wintertime?
well, for those guys, we use Belangi plumbing over in
Oh,
St. Ignace. So the
oh, I.
Belangi name is pretty famous in this area. There's Belangi excavating, Belangi plumbing, Belangi heating and cooling. So
So the thing is to be a Belangi.
yeah,
So do you have, what are some of the problems you might have in the wintertime? Maybe frozen pipes, but y'all probably know better. You know how to
yeah, we
take
know
care of that.
better. Everybody knows better. Okay, it's a blizzard, and you made your appointment 6 weeks ago, and
Mm,
you have to go to that appointment.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to get pushed back another 4 to 8 weeks. You know what I mean?
And you might die
So
in the meantime or
yeah,
something.
plan your emergency accordingly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So
But
y'all
yeah,
help
it's
each other out with that.
well, everybody helps each other out. Everybody, I mean, I had a buddy one time a year or two ago. His mom passed away, and he's like, "Man, I'm looking for a truck." I was sitting next to him at the Mustang, just having a beer real quick. I was like, "What's going on, man?" He goes, "My mom just died. I'm looking for a truck. I gotta get downstate." And I
Mm,
just reached in my pocket and handed him my keys
hmm.
and told him where it was.
Wow. And so you keep your vehicle, your truck in St. Ignace in a,
Yep.
is it outdoors or in
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
parking
it's
lot?
outdoors. Yeah.
And so it's always just there when you
It's
need it.
always just there. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of a trip. Yeah.
It is. It's a
I haven't
different
been
kind
off
of
the
life, isn't
island
it?
in about 5 or 6 weeks,
Hmm.
maybe longer. So I'm sure my battery's dead.
Yeah.
I got to remember to start disconnecting my battery when I
Hmm.
come back to the island because you never, I don't need to go to the mainland, you
Yeah.
know?
So, do you think most people, well, there could be many reasons people live there year round. Some have just always lived there, I would
Well,
assume.
you have islanders who are like, born and raised, either born on the island or born in St. Ignace and raised here, graduated from school here. And some people say you have to be considered an islander, you had to have graduated from the school. Some say you had to be here 3 generations. So I'm what you consider an island resident, but I'm not an islander.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So no, that's all right. But no, this is where the truth, comes to fruition. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. I have always been so fascinated talking about being an islander, so fascinated with the history of the island and having the fur trade be the first big business that Europeans and Americans were involved in there, and how many women were involved in the business, and how many successful women,
Oh yeah.
Native women, Métis women who were French, because it was French fur traders and
Yep.
missionaries in the beginning, thus Marquette Park. But the Frenchmen would marry Native women, and those women would often end up because they married such young women, they
Hmm.
would die, and the women would end up handling the businesses. And it's fascinating to me,
Oh yeah.
the
So
history of that.
yeah. So what we call the village now, this is on one of my 2 hour tours. What we call the village now was, you know, at one time an Indian fishing village down by where the school now sits.
Hmm.
And it went that way for almost a millennia, at least 800 years that I'm aware of. It was cyclical. The Indians would leave Detroit, they would paddle up here or travel up here somehow.
Hmm.
They would come to the island, they would summer here, and they would just fish all the whitefish,
Hmm.
and they would salt it and they would store it and they would take it back to their longhouses in the area which would eventually become Detroit. And that sustained them through the winter, that salted whitefish, in case they didn't have enough game.
Mm. Oh,
So
goodness, isn't
yeah.
that something?
And then yeah, like the one of the examples of the lady that you're talking about. And yes, I love Marquette Park. That's great. Yeah, Marquette and Dabion, they came over in the 1670s to preach Christianity to the Indians. You've seen the Birch Bark Chapel.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, yep, that's what they would have missioned out of. But if you go down towards Mission Point area, if you go towards the east, you'll see was the Harbor View Inn.
Hmm.
That was Madame Laframboise' private residence. Madame Laframboise was half Indian, half French Canadian. She married a fur trapper and trader. He ended up getting killed in a dispute down by either Big or Grand Rapids. I can't remember which one.
Hmm.
And she took over the business and she ended up becoming one of the first female millionaires in the state of Michigan, if not in the United States. And she was Indian.
Isn't that
So it was
amazing?
pretty
I
cool. And
love that
I
story.
have her descendants come up every summer and they stay at the Harbor View. And I was in the family photo last year.
So
So,
really,
yeah.
because I've studied her and she's in one of my books prominently because
Yeah.
I just love her so much. So her descendants, they know that they're descended from
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Janet Collins, my friend Janet Collins. Yeah. She's, I think she's fourth great granddaughter
I love that.
to, yeah.
And are they still in Michigan or have
Oh, they're
they?
kind of all over the place.
Yeah. And they
So,
still come up to the Harbor View Inn, which was her
yeah.
home
Yep.
in the summer. Oh, I would love to meet them.
It's cool. Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'd have to figure that out sometime. Oh, see, and those are the kinds of stories that we don't learn usually,
It,
unless we go on a walking tour and
well,
with someone
yeah.
who's knowledgeable. And
Well,
oh,
a lot of people don't know she donated the land for the church to be built on for St. Anne's Catholic Church to be built on. Her daughter Josephine and Josephine's baby are interred under the steps of the church. So if you go under the steps of the church, just look around. On the east side, there's a lower entrance, and you can go in and there's a museum. You can
Hmm.
go in and you can actually see the coffin.
Hmm.
And so her daughter Josephine was kind of famous in her own right because of who she was married to.
Who was she married
Josephine
to?
and the baby unfortunately died in childbirth, but Josephine was married to Captain Pierce at Fort Mackinac. Captain Pierce had a brother who would go on to become President Pierce.
Oh, oh my goodness. I think I do remember
Yes.
that story from long ago, and I'd forgotten that. And so, did the two brothers get along well, do you think?
Oh no, I don't. I have no idea.
I just
I
wondered if they had an in with the
I
president.
have no. I really don't know, and I'm not gonna lie.
And my dogs are barking here.
That's all right.
And I appreciate you putting up with, I don't know if you heard it, but I'm in a terrible storm here today, and that's why my little boy is on my lap. He's
Oh, okay.
shaking. He's
Yep.
so
All right.
scared.
No,
Uh,
I didn't hear it at all.
oh, good, good. The sirens didn't go off, so I was okay. See, it's no
Oh,
matter
there's
where you live, it's
speaking
always
about
something.
sirens. We do have a noon bell. It goes off at noon. It's a noon siren. So if you're here in the summertime and around lunchtime, you hear the noon bell. We do it every day.
And I grew up in West Branch, and I grew up with that noon every single day. The
Yep.
siren went off, and so I love that on Mackinac Island. It's like going home, and it
Hmm.
does feel like a second home to me. Do you think islanders or people who live there year round resent that at all? That so many of us online, for example, talk about how Mackinac Island feels like a second home to us. Does that feel like an infringement to you, or is that okay?
Well, it's also kind of like the like folks like yourself, for example, or especially through social media, I've experienced a lot of this. Oh, I'd love to live on Mackinac Island one day. I was like, no, you just come and visit. Because if 10,000 people lived here, guess what? It wouldn't be special anymore.
That's right. How many people do live on the island?
There's about 400 year-round residents that actually live here year-round.
And so, do you have any idea how many kids are in the school?
Right now, there's about 65 kids,
K through 12?
K through 12. Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in a
Yeah.
school like that too. K through 12, all
I
went
think
one.
they double up the grades. So one teacher does like kindergarten, first grade, then second and third grade, then fourth and fifth, and sixth and seventh. And I think at eighth grade, they get their individual teacher.
Right.
Like eighth grade's just for that class, ninth grade's just for that class. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes you only have one or two kids in a graduating class.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a huge graduating class um, of about like 11 people a couple years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And
And how
yeah,
many did
it
you
was
have?
pretty
How many
funny.
did you have in your class in Houghton Lake?
In my class in Houghton Lake, I think I had 118, 120, something like that.
That's almost, we had 111 in West
Yep.
Branch, right
So
down the
yeah.
road, because I was the baby boom era,
Uh-huh.
right after World War II. So that was huge. That was a huge class at that time.
Ooh,
And
let's see. Don't ride your bike on the sidewalk. I'm just sorry. I didn't mean to go
another
off
rule.
topic like that.
Well, you know what? And I've seen people do that. And how can they not know? And and they'll
Don't step
stand
in
in the
front of a
road.
horse. Guess what? The horses don't. It takes a lot to stop a freaking 200 pound, or 2,000 pound animal.
And it's like, and I'll see people, and I get so annoyed because it's just rude. They'll go
Yeah.
stand right in the middle of the road, not realizing it's a road. That's
It's a
like going and
road.
standing in the middle of the highway out here with cars going by because those horses, like you said, can't stop and they need to get out of the way. The people need to get out of the way. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
okay, let's see. What else can I think of real quick? Ooh, so I was raised Methodist in Houghton Lake. Um, so we have the Catholic Church, St. Anne's. We
Hmm.
have Trinity Church for the Lutherans. And then we have the Little Stone Church where all the rest of us go. My pastor's Baptist, I believe. So, but like the Little Stone Church, that's where I go to church at in the summertime. In the wintertime, I literally convert. I'm Catholic in the wintertime because it's
Because
the
it's
only game in town if you want to go to church. So,
oh my goodness. That's really sweet though. I love that.
and if the
That
doors are open during the summertime and there's not a sign saying like wedding in progress or church in progress or something,
hmm
guess what? Come in, look around. It's a great little church. The
hmm
stained glass windows are from Lamb Studios. They're just under Tiffany in quality.
mm.
And if you go inside the church and you're looking at the stained glass windows, guess what? William Perry, who's, give me a second, please.
Mhm.
You see him ministering to at the mission on the point, which is why Mission Point got its
Oh
name.
yeah, yeah. That's
But
right. Yeah.
you see him ministering to the Indians, and he looks exactly like Johnny Cash. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, I've
And
seen
as
it
a matter
before
of
and I
fact,
didn't think of that. So
Pastor
now
Dan
I'll always
Hans,
think of that.
whenever Pastor Dan Hans does marriages or whatever, he lets folks know. He's like, listen, I want you to know you're not just getting married in front of God and friends and family. You're also getting married in front of Johnny Cash. So, and that's always good to break the ice because everybody's always nervous or whatnot. But
Sure, sure. There are a lot of weddings on the island, aren't there?
yeah, I just actually got ordained. I just had somebody hit me up 2 days ago, just after you called, actually. Somebody shot me an email
Yeah.
wanting to know about my rates for the wedding planning.
Oh my goodness. So you're ordained and you could do a wedding. You can marry people.
Yep. I want to do small ones though. Like I just want to do like 8 or 10 people max. Like I don't want to do a whole congregation full of people.
Ooh, what would be neat would be to take people on a walking tour up to
Nope,
some
where it's already in the
beautiful,
works. Yep. Take them up
some
to
beautiful
Sunset Rock,
spot, and
marry
that's
them,
where they
or
get
take them up to
married.
the bluff and marry them. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I've been
Yeah.
married for 38 years, but we could do it again, I guess.
I can do vow renewals.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's great.
and
Oh, well,
I did it
good
right,
luck with
like
that.
I went to the people who do it now, some of the
Hmm.
folks,
Hmm.
some of the older folks that I respect and have been around a long time. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into this, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And they've all said, Chad, there's plenty of work,
Yeah.
especially if you just want to do smaller ones, there's plenty of work.
Yeah. I bet there is because whenever I'm up there, I always see weddings. I see wedding parties. I see bachelorette parties. Those,
Yeah,
those kinds of things, you see it all. Well, Chad, our time is about up here.
sounds good.
It's been such a pleasure. I am so
Oh, it's been
grateful
fun.
that you took
This is
time to
my
do
first
this.
time on Zoom, so this is like a treat for me too.
Good. Yeah. So is there anything else you would like people to know about Chad's wonderful walking tours? How can they contact you? I'll put that in the description of this video.
Okay.
What would you like folks to know?
So you could find Chad's Wonderful Walking Tours on TikTok, YouTube, primarily YouTube Shorts, the small little minute long ones,
Hmm.
or Facebook.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you
And
for
and just look
interviewing
it
me.
up. That's how I found you. I just Googled Chad, Chad's walking tours, Mackinac
No,
Island.
one thing about my walking tours I would like to iterate really quick. So I charge $25 per person per hour.
Hmm.
Veterans and kids 5 to 11 get half off. So,
Oh, that's very
yeah.
nice. And so now you are Chad's walking and wedding tours. So
Yeah,
there you
Chad's
go.
Wonderful Walking Wedding Tour. I'm going to figure out some knucklehead name for it.
Well, it's been great. And so what I would like to have happen next is when I'm up next summer, let's let's have a drink at the Mustang Lounge or Horns or Dow's or wherever
Yeah.
and say hello. And I'll have to gather some people together and come do one of your walking tours.
Yeah, we could walk out to Stonecliff, go to the
Yeah.
Woods restaurant, have a cocktail, have pizza at Stonecliff.
Oh, I would love it. Thank you.
That's see now as a I know we're closing up here, but as a kind of foodie a little bit, I like going to the woods and I if whether if I'm with a friend or whatever, I like getting one of their burgers at the woods to split. So I'll cut that in half and eat that and then go over to Stonecliff and get a pizza to eat. So that $30 burger is actually an appetizer, but it's a phenomenal burger.
And so you've got it all figured out.
Oh yeah, I've got it step
Uh,
by step. Yep.
well, thank you so
Well, thank you
much
very
again for
much.
being here. And I look forward to seeing more of your videos
All
uh,
right, wonderful. Thank you very
wherever
much.
they
Talk
are,
to you
because
soon.
they are beautiful. For anyone who's never seen them,
Wonderful.
you just show us some of the most gorgeous scenery, and I appreciate it.
I've got to make it over to the other side of the island. There's a lot of beauty on the other side of the island too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but thank you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks
Thanks for the
again.
interview.
Bye-bye.
Bye.